Representative Elise Stefanik announced Monday that her campaign raked in $4 million in the second quarter of the year, leaving her with $11 million cash on hand, breaking multiple records. Stefanik's cash on hand total is the largest for a New York Republican ever, according to her campaign. Additionally, the haul is the largest off-year quarter haul for Republicans in the state. Sources told The Hill last month that Stefanik is preparing to launch her campaign for governor, challenging incumbent Governor Kathy Hochul. Hochul's political operation announced on Monday the governor raised more than $11.8 million during the first half of 2025. More than $4 million of the haul will go to Hochul's reelection campaign, and more than $7 million will go to the New York State Democratic Committee, according to a campaign aide. Hochul ends the period with $17.5 million cash on hand. Representative Mike Lawler is also considering a challenge against Hochul, while Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman has been floated as a potential candidate. A Siena College poll released last month showed Hochul leading Stefanik, Lawler, and Blakeman by at least 20 points. Respectively, the same poll showed Hochul with a 50% job approval rating and 45% rating. So, New York is a blue state, but and I know that people don't pay attention to races and places they don't live in normally, but you got to remember Hochul won election to her first term by less than 10 points. And actually it follows a trend where a lot of these states that are, like trend one way or the other will have a candidate who's so abysmal or uninspiring or just someone that people are not excited to support, and it'll actually heavily not necessarily increase the chances the other side will finally, break through the dam and win, but it will create an effect where a record, which is something that sticks for so many years because that, like, the party controls the state in terms of who gets voted into these different offices, comes close to having its record shattered. Same thing in South Dakota in 2018 with Kristi Noem. She won the governorship, I think, by 5 points. And that was really significant because South Dakota has the longest streak of Republican governors of any state. They haven't had a Democrat as governor, I think, since my parents were in elementary school. So just a very, like 40 years, like just an extremely long time. I'm not going to say Stefanik will win. I think she could. Well, it's like this. Hochul is not a strong campaigner. The speech she gave at the DNC bored me to sleep. She's gotten into weird stuff about saying that black kids don't know how to use computers, just all type of crap that's not appealing. And really, a lot of it's going to come down to, can Stefanik appear not insane enough for the average New York voter? It's going to come down to a few things. You're going to have to have low turnout for Democrats. A version of Stefanik that doesn't look crazy, and Hochul just being a bad campaigner. I think those three factors together would have to collide for Stefanik to be able to win. It's an uphill battle, even with someone as weak as her, as your opponent. But it was the same thing with Cruz in 2018, where he really struggled to win his race and ended up only winning it by a few points. Was it 2 points? And then he came back, last year and won decisively by, I think, 10 points. So these people can improve in terms of getting more votes or whatnot. I just don't think Hochul is showing any signs of having an expanding electorate. I think most of her votes are going to come from the fact it's a blue state. She's the incumbent governor, and they just don't want Republicans to occupy any executive position, any statewide office, as things currently stand.